Hello, everybody. Hello, Danny.
Hiya, you're right.
Say my name as well.
Justin.
Say my name. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new podcast called Room for Improvement with Danny and Justin. It's very exciting, isn't it, mate?
I'm excited. You can probably tell.
I am excited.
Is it palpable?
You're probably excited. What you can't see is below the desk. His legs are going like that.
Oh, like a duck.
Yeah. He is.
All up here, it's just business.
He is like a duck in many ways, in that like a mallard. Like because he's the male mallard, he keeps himself all pristine and like thinking, and it's women, he likes them to be dowdy.
Isn't the Drake the man duck?
Yeah, but the breed is called mallard.
I thought it was mallard and drakes. I thought drakes were the boy ducks and mallards were the lady ducks.
Can we fact check that, please?
I don't know for sure.
I used to do a joke about it, didn't I? When I used to say,
imagine if you were doing the joke wrong for 20 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing a joke for that long.
No, but I mean,
who am I? Insert name of somebody we don't like.
Who am I?
I said mallard. Drake mallard. I think the mallard is the breed, isn't it?
The male duck is called a drake. And the female is called a duck.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But it's the breed of ducks, isn't it? Is the mallard.
I don't know.
Mallard.
Any wild drake.
The mallard or wild duck is a dabbling duck that breeds through the temperate and subtropical Americas, Eurasia and North Africa. Not to be confused with the LNAR class A44468 mallard, which is obviously, as we all know, a 462 specific steam locomotive built in 1938. Of
course, yeah. I always get them mixed up.
Do you know the thing about every duck's bill is a tiny dog?
What?
Do you not know this?
No.
Oh, I'm just about to blow your mind. Right, so if you're watching this now, when you get a chance...
Is it like every dog's ass is Jesus? Is it like one of them things?
So if you look at a duck's bill, it's a dog and you'll never unsee it now.
Oh, yeah?
Look.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Rachel will have to insert that on the video.
Picture of it. Have you never seen it, Rachel? Every duck's bill looks like like a little dog's face. Do you know that if you split a peanut open, you get a baby rabbit inside?
No.
What's a duck's bill?
When it goes to a restaurant. when it goes to a restaurant.
Yeah.
And he does that with his wing.
He goes, and he goes...
What's a duck's bill, though?
It's basically...
£18.
Yeah, I was going to say it's how much you pay for when you go to Birmingham.
Are you really genuinely asking what's a duck's bill?
Yeah, I'm going to Google it.
It's his beak. It's another name for beak.
You never heard of a duck bill platypus?
You never done a line of bill?
Do you not know what a duck bill was?
No, I don't have any knowledge of animals at all. Like none. I'm rubbish at them.
Well, you don't know what a duck bill is. You don't know what a matabubu is.
No, I don't know.
You didn't know your cat was a boy.
So you never had a matabubu?
Are you making it up that word
No.
up?
I can't believe you never had a matabubu.
I feel like you're making that word up.
We'll have to do it, won't we?
Shall I do it? Yeah. What's a matabubu?
Nothing, Yogi. How'd you make a duck? A soul singer?
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best dad gag. Do you know this one? Well, she won't get. She might have heard this joke and then never got it. You put it in the microwave till it's Bill Withers. Oh my! She doesn't know what a bill is. So every duck beak has got a dog face in it, and every peanut when you split a peanut, right? Next time you get a peanut, split it, and down the bottom of the kernel,
there's someone. If you're there trying to split a peanut, it's like some half-naked gun, and you go and it fucking flies in someone's mouth.
Who's got a peanut allergy?
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, what was you doing?" You're like, "I just wanted to see a little rabbit." Fucking Dave's dead here.
And we get sued for it. Oh, we get sued for it.
Yeah,
we'd get some notoriety for the pod, wouldn't we?
Infamy,
yeah. Anyway, so welcome to the brand new podcast. It's not supposed to be about this, is it? It's about improvement and stuff. It is good, yeah.
I've just improved. I've learned what a duck's bill was.
Rachel's improved to find out what a bill is. So there's a few things I want to talk about to get off my chest. It's September, so we're back to school. Yeah. Start of the academic year. I like my years running academically.
I've told you, don't I? I'm sure we spoke about this, that all my comedy diaries have all been September to September.
I did not know that, Daniel, but I'll tell you something, so am I.
Yeah, that's my year.
That's my year as well, because we could not sometimes put an Edinburgh in the middle of it. You don't anymore. I do. But you sometimes put a little Edinburgh in the middle of it, and that becomes an academic year.
No, the Edinburgh is also like your end of term.
6 weeks holidays. Yeah.
Which is a waste.
So this is a brand new year. September begins that. My daughter has gone off to university, hopefully, in a couple of weeks or so. She's off on her way.
Where's she going?
Glasgow. I have to say like that, don't I? Glasgow.
I thought you say like Glasgow.
Yeah, then we'll be doing some of this routine, won't we?
Oh?
Gavin Webster does that, doesn't he, about people from, you're from Glasgow. Glasgow. So yeah, she's off today. So we got this brand new podcast, Room for Improvement, where I...
Oh, is that what this is? Is that what I didn't realise?
Yeah, you're my de facto new child. That's what you are.
Instead of getting a dog.
Yeah, another dog. I once got mistaken for Daniel's dad, and it still haunts me. It was like I'm not bothered about being... I'm not fuming about it. I'm not bothered about...
You've got that little Arthur fist, from the meme, where Arthur's like...
I'm not bothered about it, per se. People who are bothered always say per se, don't they?
Punch that woman in the middle of the park.
So...
He was so
Do you know what the worst...
Looked at me as if to say this, cunt.
The worst bit about it all is
What
that...
did she actually say? Like, how did it go?
We were just in the park walking. She's like, hiya, Justin.
I go, so for context, this is why she thought I was his dad, because I bought him an ice cream and I was holding his hand. And I was telling him his mum was a bitch.
I was on his shoulders.
No, we were just... Where were we?
We were in...
Didsbury?
No.
Near my old house?
Yeah.
In Heaton Moor, walking through the park. And what did she say to... I can't remember.
Just chatting, and then she just went, is this your lad?
Yeah.
Something like, I'm 10 years older than the cunt.
Because what's worse about that is that our mate Andre Vincent and Marcus Birdman had a similar experience. And I used to go around laughing at Andre, going, I don't think I could be your dad. How old are you?
39.
Are you?
I wear it well.
I did not know you were that old. I'm 53. So it would... I mean, I was that cool at school. I could have been doing some shagging, but I wasn't.
So when could you...
14.
You're like
14.
You're like 5 years off being able to really be my
Being
dad.
your young father, yeah, definitely. But I don't
So whose
present...
dad could you be?
In comedy?
Yeah. I'm trying to think now.
Lomas.
Yeah. Adam
Rowe?
Yeah.
I couldn't be his dad.
He's 30, I think.
I couldn't be it.
But I mean, like, people that age.
I suppose 30, easy, yeah. Well, my son's 26. Yeah. And there's lots of comedians younger than him, established. Anyway, time marches on for us all. But it's never too late to improve, which is what this podcast is all about, isn't it?
I don't care about this podcast.
I did a gig for Danny last night in Chester, and I wanted to talk to you about this. I had the weirdest experience last night. So basically, Danny books a gig called Alexander's, which there's different ways of saying it. It's the longest running gig outside the London area.
Yeah.
There's a gig that runs in Reading, the Bracknell area, which is technically London, isn't it, more or less?
I don't think so.
But it's the longest running gig outside London and Bracknell.
In the
country.
North.
Yeah, it definitely, yeah. Alexander's. And so I was comparing the gig last night, and there was a guy on the front row and his missus. And she was a little bit drunk, but she was nice, actually.
That left.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So I was chatting to her, and she was being a bit like, oh, what's your name? Do I have to tell you? But she wasn't that bad. At one point, she said something. I said, what are you talking about? She went, do you want me to tell you? And I went, yeah. She went, I was just saying that I really like you.
I hate it when that happens.
No, it wasn't arsey.
No,
Yeah.
but it's worse because,
For you.
because you're like, I'll say horrible
I was
things.
about to punch you.
Yeah, I'll say horrible things. I just really like your shit.
And she said, she said, I said, what do you do for a living? And she said, I'm a midwife. And I said, oh, right, so that's like my job, isn't it? We both look at, insert the worst swear word there all day, which was a bit of a shocker for the first section of comparing.
Yeah, but someone, like, I was there, I witnessed it, and you had about 3 opportunities to call a guy that word anyway, because he was being one.
Yeah, but I don't use that word.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Oh, I love it.
I know.
Always using it.
Well, you see, that's the difference because you're young. And because I'm old, like like a father figure. It'd be shocking to hear your dad say it, wouldn't it? So I said it. But anyway, boyfriend or husband just went, and he literally went like this. I goes, oh, so you're like me then, aren't you? You look at guns all day. And he just went like this, genuinely went, wow. Wow.
Double wow.
He performed it. Wow. Like that. Like, you just said that?
Like the voucher advert.
And then I got talking to him, and he had, nice guy, I reckon.
You weren't confident enough to just leave it at nice guy.
Nice guy, I reckon. He had the weirdest, and this is a long stretch to say this, the weirdest collection of tattoos I have ever seen. He had about 6 or 7 tattooed faces. At first, I thought it was the craze.
Mate, honestly, the one on his left forearm,
Yeah.
I thought it was me.
Do you know, they were tattoos of film stars from the golden age of cinema. This guy was like in his late 20s, early 30s.
No.
He was. I talked to him afterwards.
He looked.
I know. Like,
He could have been
my dad. But he had like Basil Rathbone, Laurence Olivier. Just a really weird tattoos. They were all men as well, weren't they?
All white men.
He said that's the whitest tattoos I've ever seen.
Those were just white people tattoos, them.
Such a... But I said... So I went... I don't know why I was expecting him to say. I went, so you're a fan of that age of cinema? He went, yeah. Of course you are. I've been waiting.
The thing is, though, right, and this is like... It's dicey getting that. Because someone of us, like, maybe someone like 20 years older or 10 years older could have been like, oh, I'm just getting the tattoos of all my favourite BBC presenters from the 70s. Like, he could have had that in 1999 or whatever.
Well, there's been, you would go on, you see stag do's, and very often they would be dressed as Jimmy Savile.
Right, yeah.
And you don't want to look at them photos now, do you?
They probably still do that now.
Yeah, not yet.
But I mean, like, it come out tomorrow, they're like, do you remember?
Basil Rathbone.
Yeah, Basil Rathbone. Basil Rathbone killed 8 people.
I don't think that's going to come out.
Is he Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, one of them, yeah. There's a great photograph. My mate, Steve Edge's missus, Tamara, has got a photograph, I think it's of her granddad, playing cricket in the Hollywood cricket team.
Wow.
Yeah, with all these people like Basil Rathbone and like in the 1930s, they had a cricket team.
Who did they play?
They played another. There's like another English, like
right. I was going to say it after
the Crew or something.
Yeah.
And I thought that's interesting. And then I read about it in David Niven's book, and he was involved in it. Yeah, good book that David Niven. The Moon's a Balloon. Is it called?
I don't know.
It's one of the great biographies of our time.
That good that you can't remember the title.
I don't know why you always put me down.
No, but that was because you was like, I don't know what it's got. It's one of the greatest.
Because I
remember the greatest book, the name of the greatest book of all time.
Which is?
The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. That was my favourite book all growing up.
David Niven autobiography. The Moon's a Balloon, so I was right. Yeah, just wasn't confident. I should have more
yourself.
I should have more confidence, isn't it?
Maybe we should do confidence.
We do. So that's it. That's the idea of this podcast. It's called Room for Improvement, where every week we speak with experts or professionals. I know, that's what we're going to do. Experts or professionals or...
Both.
To find out if we can improve as comedians, as parents, or...
Both.
People.
Oh.
You forgot your catchphrase. See, we can...
No, my catchphrase is both.
No, your catchphrase was, or people.
Oh, was it?
It was, so you said better comedians, better parents, and then...
You went, can I say it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So because better comedians, better parents...
Better people.
Oh, you got to do it in a different way. Right, you do better comedians, better parents, and then I'll do what you did.
Okay, better comedians, better parents.
Hang on, can I say it?
Okay.
And better people.
Oh, okay.
That's how you did it. It was very good.
It was a long time ago.
It was. So so what we do is every week we will record an episode and put it out there for you to watch and to listen to, and we introduce the person that we've already spoken to and found out all about them. And the first thing we've gone for is, and I don't know why we've gone for it first, because we We're juggling a few ideas, weren't we? Yeah, we had a few things in the air.
He's just our mate, isn't it?
Yeah, we know him from the clubs and the balls. And is our mate Steve Royle, who is, and can I just say this, he is a particular person. He is a nice guy.
Top 5.
And a funny guy.
Top 5 comedy circuit nice guy, I think.
Top 5?
And he's not 5.
I'm putting him at top 3.
Oh, are you? Oh, no, there's no order. I just think there's 5.
But he's in top 3, I think.
Well, there's 4. I can't think of another one.
Andy Askins.
Yeah.
Steve Royle.
Yeah.
Alfie Joy. Oh, you don't know him.
him.
You don't know him. You don't know him.
Well, maybe you can make up the 5 then.
Yeah, Steve Royle, Andy Askins, Andy Robinson.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Oh, you forgot about Rowe. Andy Rowe.
Andy Robo.
Who else is in there?
Steve Jameson.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did I forget Steve?
And Rob Rouse. Oh, you got beef with the Rouse.
We'll have to edit that.
What did he do?
We genuinely have to edit that.
No. Yeah, nice guy. There's more than that, but they're top 5.
Yeah, I think so. They're the top 5 that come to mind. And if I have to think more, then it means that...
Interesting, isn't it, that they're all white, straight men? Oh, what would be an interesting episode? Maybe do this on Patreon. Top 5 comedians that are really funny, but I wouldn't want to hang out with them.
Oh...
There's loads, isn't there?
That is a good one.
Top 5, like really good comedians, but no, mate. But then there's the top 5 that are neither.
Yeah, but then there's the top 5 nice guys. Because all those nice guys we would say, they're not nice guys.
No. Explain what nice guys is.
Not very funny.
So.
That nice guys. No.
But the ones we
not
talk
nice
about.
Guys.
Yeah.
Nice guys.
So, did you, what's that guy, John Smith, he did that gig for you, what's he like?
Oh, no, there is a
all right.
comedian called...
Pete Green, how's Pete Green?
Nice guy.
Nice guy, isn't he? He's a nice guy, yeah.
Nice.
Do you book him? He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not funny. You don't want anybody...
Is it nice guy or is it good guy?
No, nice guy.
He's a good guy.
No, he's a nice lad. He's a good fella, yeah, he's good. He's not one of us.
Man.
He's not one of us.
Family keeps a nice garden.
Yeah, he's not a friend of ours.
Things you'll say instead of saying it's just not funny.
Yeah.
Tell you what, when he in the green room, he always tidies up.
Yeah.
When he goes out.
Oh, does he give you a lift? He'll always give you a lift.
Oh, and he gets the wine comes in.
He does get. Yeah. He has some little tins of travel sweets, and he has his tissues in a special box on the back, on the parcel shelf. Oh, I love having when I have my car tidy.
Yeah.
And I've got the sweets on the go, and I've got spare waters in the boot. Do you know there's spare waters in the boot? Barca Jim.
Oh, I was going to say the St. John's ambulance.
Barca Jim always has. I was like, what are you doing? Thinking of going to a park run or something. He always has a slab of water in the back.
That's where he's got. Maybe you're thinking that Jim's a dead nice guy, but maybe he nicks him.
From park
From
runs.
marathons.
Yeah.
You open his boot, he's got a big load of foil as well.
So every week we'll have an episode out. What day did they come out, Rachel? Thursdays, you'll get a brand new episode where Danny and I have a little chat, talk about our week, what we're doing. You can find out all about us. To say hello, be our friends, become fans of ours. It's a real family business, dad and lad. So that's all going to happen. So we're going to have this chat, and then very shortly in every episode, we'll speak to our expert, our professional, to find out about their professionalism, their expertise in a certain thing, and can we get any good at it? And then we'll go off and try it. But who sees that? Not everybody.
No.
Only the Patreons.
Yeah, only the creeps. You have to pay to see.
Pay to see us. And there are 3 levels. So for just £3 a month, £3 a month, that's less than the price of a coffee. Yeah? That's it. Just £3 a month. You'll get this weekly podcast. You'll get it in early access in video form. You'll get it a day earlier than everybody else. You get an extra podcast every week, an exclusive insight, how we get on when we meet the person in our episode called Room for Improvement in the Aftermath episode. That'll be about 15 to 30 minutes of video, but loads of other chat as well, which we're going to record more of this bullshit.
Do you think, here's a question, just while it's pertinent. Do you think, like, charities hate podcasters now and patrons?
Why?
Because if I'm spending £2 a month to save donkeys and that, but then like 2 people come on and go, for £3 a month, you can watch us go and call people cunts on the internet.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but people go,
but it's exactly the same thing. You're giving some money to hard-working, dumb animals.
That's what I mean.
That's what we are.
But the donkeys might be like, whoa.
The donkeys get too much, and I say that as an animal lover and a vegan. More money goes to donkey sanctuaries than it is necessary.
Right.
Genuinely. I also believe, and I may not be right, but there are certain charities that are importing dogs from Eastern Europe that aren't strays.
Dog Farage there. That's the most.
We should take control of our own border terriers. But I do think there's a scam going over here. Dogs of bum sniffing age.
Of biting age.
You can't even get in a kennel these days.
Biting age dogs.
Biting age. And there's never
all the catteries, right?
All the dogs, never the bitches.
No.
And the pups.
No, exactly.
No, it's always just the dogs, isn't it?
Just the biting dog.
Yeah, coming over on
the
boats.
The thing is as well, it's like when you bring the Romanian, they don't integrate with the English
They
dogs.
don't. That's the problem, isn't it?
They stay on their own little corners.
Yeah. And suddenly, next thing you know, there's loads of Romanian dog food shops. Dog litter everywhere. Litters. Literally litter. So for £3 a month...
Do you reckon the dogs, the immigrant dogs, they make them sand humans in the middle of town?
Park your car up, next thing they're jumping on, look at your windscreen. We might have to take all this out. It's fucking racist.
It's well funny.
Put it in the Patreon.
Yeah.
Room for improvement then. The noobs, £3. You get all that and you get access to our Discord. You get, so basically, if you want to spend another £2...
It's nothing.
Nothing. Well, so £5 a month.
Can I just say that most people have £3. A lot of £3 have upgraded to £5 in the last week.
So they've gone from £3, they've gone, I like this, but hang on, let's have a little bit more.
Remember when I said that they would do that? Those are the days.
The professionals, for a fiver, for just £2 more, £5 a month, we appreciate you joining us. Your fully professional £5 a month will get you the weekly podcast with early access in video form, the Discord access, an extra hour-ish long podcast every week with exclusive insight into what we got in the Room for Improvement in the Aftermath episode, plus an insight into what Dan and Justin think needs to improve this week. And you also get...
Terms and conditions apply.
A signed mini print for your wall, your fridge, or your office to remind you to keep improving. A signed mini print. Hey, and do you know what, though? If you want to go one step further, right, which I think you should... you don't just have to stay there. You can become an expert. And for everything you get with that, what?
It just sounded really horrible. That. Like you had a girl. If you want to go one step further, and I think you should.
Oh, God.
No.
Why would I say that?
It's getting edited out, but it just sounded really...
I would never say that.
No, I know. That's why I was laughing.
I know, but that, I mean, genuinely, not because I'm not like a weirdo, but I'm not sexually active anymore. I'm finished. I've hung my boots up. It's true. It's over.
Did you have a testimonial?
Shouldn't I? Yeah. All my former partners.
Oh, Sue's just going to come on for the last 10 minutes.
She's coming on for the pens. No, I'm done now. I'm done. Done. Finished.
Same.
Done. Finished. It's over. Out to pasture. That's a really bad not alibi. That's a really bad defence, isn't it? No, it's not. I don't like sex. I don't like sex. So experts get everything that I've just said before, but you also get early access to tickets for recordings of live episodes. We're doing this live,
yeah.
So you'll guarantee entrance if you're an early adopter. 3 months of supporting us, you get our exclusive Room for Improvement mug to remind everyone you're an expert, not a mug. Imagine every morning getting that, going, how can my day get better? It's just got better already. That's great. And this is the best prize, right?
Prize, not a prize.
No, it is a prize. This is you might win a prize in our exclusive They always say that on local radio, don't they? Exclusive. Exclusive entries to the Room for Improvement Tombola. We got a tombola which includes signed prizes from guests, tickets to see me and you live, loads of stuff in there.
Discounted ticket.
Discount? No, free tickets. And the first prize that somebody's going to win for this month will be something that you'll see our first guest give us in the episode. Should we do that live?
Yeah.
Do a live tombola?
What, with people here?
No, we don't want to meet these people. No, live on like Instagram Live or something. The reason why we asked you for a couple of quid here and there is everything costs money to pay for, doesn't it? Everything costs money.
My favourite one is when people go, yeah, give us the money on our Patreon and then we can improve our equipment and it sounds better and it looks better and that.
Yeah.
Just going to buy shoes with it.
He's going to buy shoes with it. We're going to make sure Rachel, single parent, gets a wage. Yeah. That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So it's a
Can I ask a
cooperative
question?
between me, Daniel and Rachel. What?
Am I a single parent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I have a wage?
Yeah.
Sound.
Yeah. I am as well, technically.
Oh, yeah?
But he's 26. Didn't realise it was brought us all together.
I thought you were 39.
All right, Rachel, getting a little joke in there. Well done. Good stuff. Don't pay you to do jokes, Rachel.
He's trying to earn a wage.
Pay you to do admin. Right, so let's talk about juggling. Steve Royle is our good mate, good friend, and we thought, let's try and learn a bit of juggling. I thought that I'd be all right at it. You'd never done it before.
Never.
I actually, and you'll see, was a bit cocky about it.
Yeah.
Should we roll the tape?
Roll tape.
Roll tape, and let's meet Steve Royle. So we're talking about juggling, Daniel.
Juggling.
Juggling, which is, according to Wikipedia, which is the only source of information that I trust these days.
It's the only one.
Juggling.
Do you ever pay for it?
I do, when he comes begging. When he comes dancing for scraps.
Yeah, I just tell him I've got no change.
I don't. I give him some.
I don't give
I think he's
him
a good guy. Juggling is a physical skill, apparently, performed by a juggler. Yeah, you knew that bit, didn't you? Involves in manipulation of objects for recreation, entertainment, art, or sport. Juggling is a stretch when you say art. The most recognisable form of juggling, the one we all know, is toss juggling.
Yeah.
So we thought, what better than to get our favourite tosser in? It is TV's own Britain's Got Talent, third place, was on Phoenix Nights for 30 seconds, built a career out of it, even more than me.
So I was going to say, he's not the only one. Not even you, but like the whole of Manchester at that time.
Steve Royle. Hi, Steve.
Thank you. Probably the best introduction I've ever had. Thank
Well,
you.
Wait, he'll use the same one for the pancake episode, I imagine.
Steve, good mates of ours. We were talking off air before. They don't say that anymore, do they? We're talking
Off mic.
Off mic. That I've known Steve for about 23, 24 years. You've known him for about 14 years.
Yeah, about that. We've both known him longer than we've known one of our children.
Exactly. Thing about Steve Royle is, and I'll say this, he's universally liked.
Yeah, he's in the top 5.
He's
He
in the
doesn't
top-
know that.
No, he's in the top 5, and he's not even in the gang. He's not even a nice guy.
No.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, it's the upper echelon.
You know the difference?
I hide my evil well, don't I?
But do you know the difference?
Go on.
Like if someone describes a fellow comedian, oh, he's a nice guy.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You never want to be the nice guy, do you?
What's he
No,
like?
no, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
He's a nice
He's
guy.
a nice guy. Have you seen his act? He's honestly
nice
lovely
guy.
lad. But you're a good guy.
All right. That's even better. All right. Okay.
You're a good guy. You're funny, and you've also got this skill, which is juggling. I've done a bit of juggling in the past. We'll see how we get on.
You look
when we
like you
try
were
it.
juggling your thoughts to try and not upset Steve there.
It is what it is. It's not quite standard, but I actually, when people say, "What's the worst heckle you've ever had in your life?" I actually bring up one that you actually did to me.
Did I?
Yeah. And it was years and years ago. And do you remember we did that TV program where, well, let's just say, I met a crying midge in a car park afterwards.
Oh, yes.
I remember years and years ago at Granada Telly. Justin had a little series out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like a late night cabaret show.
What's this?
It's called Talk
And
of the Town.
And as I remember, I went on as one of my characters. I went on as Alan Sonar.
Yeah, the blind juggler.
The blind juggler, right, which was a massive win. I mean, it's an act I could probably not do anymore, right? It was, but I remember it was running behind, and it came to my spot, and you still had to fit in the mock turtles at the end of the show.
Yep.
And as I'm doing a little bit of patter, if you like, at the beginning of my act, Justin just shouted from the back of the studio, "Just juggle," which is a great idea for a heckle, innit? I mean, it's someone, I do like the idea that someone heckles me by just going, "Just juggle."
Do you know how we were running behind? Do you know how I had to do that?
Yeah.
Because this program was so cheap, right? It was so cheap that they recorded it as live earlier in the day.
Okay.
So it just went out. So they did it like a live program. And the things that went wrong on that program, honestly, we gave The Darkness the first ever TV show.
Oh,
They were
really?
up there. John Bishop made his TV debut on that show.
That's
And
why
he turns up going, "I'm Alan Sonar, just juggle, mate."
But what's mad is that like the worst heckle we could have is someone saying, "Tell us a joke."
Joke, yeah.
So you were like, "Don't tell us a joke."
It's not even, yeah, it is. It's like one step beyond that, isn't it?
But the mid-show story is,
Yeah.
if you ever would question if someone doesn't get a joke. So I said to Mid-Joe, right, he's on there. This is all I said was, right, tell me you think this is bad. I went, "So Midge, you co-wrote the biggest selling single of all time, didn't you?" And he went, yes, I did. I went, "I bet you're loaded, aren't you?" He went, "Oh." I went, "Why?" He went, "Oh no, it's actually all the money went to charity. It was Do They Know It's Christmas." And I went, "All right. No wonder you dressed like a tramp then."
And he's fuming.
He laughed on thingy.
But it was awkward. I mean,
After-
I was in the
off
studio.
air, off screen.
I just remember when I left the studio, seeing him yelling at someone in the car park.
A runner.
Yeah, going, "How dare he talk to me like that? How dare..." Just proper.
But that's I think it's worse that he laughed.
Like if you'd have got me on thingy.
If you've got issue with it, just say it.
And it was me being nervous. It was just me comparing.
How old are you at
Getting
the
it
time?
wrong. About 30.
Oh, yeah, it was years and years ago, wasn't it? That a long time ago.
Have you seen him since?
No, if I could. Right, so listen, we've got you on here for a reason.
Yeah.
The reason is you're in our room for improvement. Thanks for joining us. Sure. And every week, Danny and I we pick something we want to be better at. Okay? We think we're pretty good at stand-up, but not much else.
Right.
I'm going to try all sorts of different things outside our comfort zone. So we thought we'd ask you about juggling.
I've come prepared. I think, obviously, you're going to need balls. So I brought you these.
All right.
Steve's Royal Juggling Balls.
Say that again.
From the Steve's Royal Variety Show. Steve's Royal Juggling Balls. If you can juggle with these, you can juggle with anything because they're well cheap. But
How much did you
not
sell?
when you buy them after one of my shows.
How much
you get them signed.
Watch me drop it.
Danny?
Oh,
Oh, they both passed them.
How much you sell them for
I sell them for 10 quid a pack.
after the show?
Yeah. I'll tell you what's interesting. You know when you go on Amazon and you find something that's quite cheap, and obviously it's not something that must be being sold a lot of, right? So I bought these. I bought maybe about 50 of them at the beginning of the tour. They sold out really quick. Went back to buy some more. They'd doubled in price.
because of you.
Because of me.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Market forces, mate.
That's exactly what it is, economics. I did a degree in economic and social history.
Why don't you buy 100 then?
That's how I learned to juggle, you know.
Juggling.
Being bored, studying for my economic and social history degree.
Well, we're going to ask you about that
Oh, go on.
in our series of questions. As we say, can we improve ourselves in our room for improvement?
What's going to be mad is the thing that'll improve most, hopefully, is this podcast.
Hopefully. So the first thing we want to ask you, mate, is do you consider yourself an expert or a professional or both? Are you an expert juggler or are you just a professional juggler?
I would say professional juggler, only because I very quickly learnt that juggling isn't that entertaining in itself. You've got to make it entertaining.
I don't
and
know.
the key bit of that is, if you see, I remember I did a show very early on when I first started to juggle. I did a show in Manchester to a load of jugglers, a room full of jugglers.
Yeah.
And one of them shows, like a comedy show, like an open mic sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Back
people
of the
were getting
room.
up. Yeah, people were getting up and doing a little bit of juggling. And I got up and I did I think I was doing my ping pong balls or something stupid. And everyone was coming up after going, "Oh, so good that." And I was getting all the accolades that night. And there was a guy who'd gone on after me. who juggled with 8 balls. It was amazing. Absolutely incredible, the skill. And he was coming up to me going, how do you do that? How do you present it like that? And it was all, and I realised then, it's not about the number of things you can juggle. It's about how you put it across. So I've always looked to find the funnies, if you like, in what I'm juggling. Because even though I do juggle with the 3 guitars at the end of my act,
spoiler alert.
There's a comedy element to it.
You should have said that, because when I've seen that a number of times now.
Yeah.
And when them guitars come out, I go, no, he can't. He's not going to be able to. No.
Well, that's the point, though. That's what makes it entertaining.
You've just given it away now.
All right, yeah.
My favourite is when you turn up to a gig and you don't realise how low the ceiling is.
Well, do you know what, Danny?
And you have to look and you go, I can't do the guitars, they're too small. And then you have to do ukuleles.
Yeah, I do have a rule. I do have a rule, actually. And that is, if I can touch the ceiling, I don't do the guitars.
That's the thing with juggling, I think. It's either got to be funny or mad impressive, innit?
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd draw the line at that you wouldn't juggle? Oh. What if someone was like, right, we'll make you a star, but you have to juggle these 3 babies? Live.
I did that for Peter Kay's. What was that spoof he did?
Sorry, I just picked that up there for you. Best.
Well, you actually did it, though.
I had 3 dolls, and the line I had on the night, so I juggled with the dolls, and then at the end it was, on the night it'll be real babies. That was the gag.
Have you juggled fire?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I ever did learn to juggle with it, because when I worked at Camelot doing the medieval banquets, I used to do fire breathing as well, and the fire eating.
Would you juggle 3 vials of blood and one of them's got bad AIDS in it?
Yeah. Again, do you know what? This is the point about juggling. I would juggle anything. I've always said, if you can physically pick it up with one hand and you can physically throw it, as in to just even head height. The worst thing I ever juggled with, horse manure. And I used to do it on a regular basis. When I worked at Camelot theme park all them years, there was one particular horse that used to do its business at the exact same time. Wouldn't do it in the first, never did it in the first show. There was a second show at 3 o'clock. And about 3:20, the Black Knight would fight Sir Lancelot. And the Black Knight had stepped forward to
do a black
to issue the challenge. And he'd do a dump. And then the king used to always go, get his own back, because I'd usually be putting him off all the way through the show. And he'd go, Jester, get rid of that for me. And I'd go over. Some days it's easy, because you know what manure's like. You know, some days
No.
I've never.
On, you're sitting in the streets, you know. Sometimes
not horse shit.
Where do I live? 1834.
Well, listen.
I've seen horse shit in the streets. We've got trams and that. I've got an electric car.
I'm forgetting you're city boys, aren't you? Yeah. I live in the countryside. We get a lot of horse shit.
I've seen horse shit in the street.
Only at the match.
Only at the match, yeah.
What I'm saying is, some days it's a bit sloppy. Some days you have to do you like snowball?
Put gloves on.
No, that's what I mean.
What?
So the next question we could ask you is, how did you start? How did you picking up shit, literally?
Well, I started bored at university, studying for my degree, and I just got 3 oranges, and I just started I don't even know who taught me the very first. And then, when I left university in 1990, I was living at home in Rochdale, and I got a job in a bar. And then a guy, one of the regulars, came in one night and said, hey, do you know, fancy coming, they're doing juggling classes at Alder Hill School. Like, just one night a week. This circus school had started up called Starlight Circus. Skylight Circus.
Don't matter, Steve.
Doesn't matter. Anyway.
No one cares.
Anyway.
Just juggle.
Jim Riley was the guy who ran it. And do you know who went? Do you know who was there the first week?
Martin Big Pig.
And I remember, you talk about remembering me when I had hair.
Yeah.
All right? Martin Big Pig. I remember Martin Big Pig when he didn't have a beard.
Oh.
Didn't even have a beard.
I love Martin. He couldn't do this one.
He used to, could it?
Did you, as soon as you started talking about Martin, then did you think, should have got Martin?
Could have done that the ladder unicycle. Is that him?
We'll get him to do.
You wouldn't got Martin. He's busy.
We'll do circus skills. He just does like. Yeah.
You wouldn't have got him. He's very busy.
All right. So go then. What have you achieved then, mate? What are you? So this is the part where we say if we were in football, then we go show us your medals. You know, when footballers are arguing, they go show us your medals. So what's your achievements? What's your record?
Accolades. First thing I've ever won, I suppose, would be the Talk of the Coast in Blackpool, 1996. Seems mad now because I would have only been juggling 6 years, and I always thought by then I'm an expert, mate. I do everything. and like this is.
So what did you
years
win?
and
What
years.
was you actually won?
I won 500 quid.
Yeah.
A lot of money
And
then.
I think like a few.
All the
gigs,
horsemen you
a
can
few
get.
gigs.
Off them horses on the front.
Yeah. I remember when I won it. I went skinny dipping in the sea. Do you know what night I won it?
Wednesday.
That's right.
I know what night it was. I know it was. I know what night
you
it
know
was.
what it is?
I
96. Think 96.
It was when the day the Manchester bomb went off.
No.
Oh, I'll guess.
No.
England knocked out by Germany on
Absolutely,
pens.
on penalties. I went on
Andreas
that night.
Muller.
Obviously, the show was the woman and I went to put it out. They said, "Oh, we'll do it. We'll start it after the match." Obviously, it went to extra time, so they thought we can't delay this show any longer. So they started the show, and then when it came to penalties, that was back in the day before you had it on any TV screens. It was on the radio,
CFAX.
and the compere played the penalties over the sound system.
So the room
Three
full of people.
balls in the air.
So basically, England go out on penalties.
England
Everyone
go out to penalties.
This can't get any worse.
That's exactly what. Do you know what my introduction was that night? Can't remember even who the compere was. Some guy there who were at regulars who went, "Well, we're all feeling down there. There's a young man here who reckons he can cheer us up." Reckons he can cheer us up.
Oh my word!
But obviously, luckily, I had a football with me dinner.
What was the accolade? What were you called?
I was just talk of the coast. I was talk of the
coast.
coast.
What
Talk
coast?
of the coast, 1996, the filed coast.
The filed coast.
It was the
right.
Viking.
Nowadays, you don't want to be the talk of the coast.
Still, I think that competition still
Yeah.
goes on. Yeah, it's at the Viking Hotel in Blackpool. Yeah.
What else have you? You came third in Britain's Got Talent.
Third in
more
Britain's Got
latterly.
Talent. Yeah, I suppose it don't get. As soon as I came off the stage, I phoned my mum and dad up, and my mum's going, "Oh, you've done ever so well, coming third in something like that. You've done so well. What do you win?" I said, "We get nothing. Mum, it's, if you win the thing," I said, "you get a Royal Variety Performance, £250,000 quid, but there's nothing for third." And she went, "That's ridiculous." She went, "Even in the church raffle, you get bath salts." Bath salts.
But then listen what she said. His mum.
Yeah, and she also went, "That can't be right, Steve. Go and ask." Go and ask, she said. Like I'm going to go up to Simon Cowell and go, "Simon, my mum says."
What's the best thing about your job, Steve?
It's relaxing in a mad kind of way. I've always said, people always cite it as a stress relief sort of thing. And I always say, well, it's not if it's your job, but it is. Genuinely, it is. And I think you've got to have a little bit. This would be interesting to see which of you two do you reckon's got is the most OCD? Who's got your tidiest house? Who's
Not
got
me.
the tidiest?
It's absolutely not
cutlery?
me.
You know what I mean? Because I'm very organised, and I think you need
Rachel.
obviously in doing Rachel. I bet you'd be a good juggler. You'd be good.
She's very,
But-
very, very OCD. Do you have to practice?
No, not really.
Should. What's the worst thing about being a juggler, Steve? Is it the ridicule from other comedians accusing you of cheating?
Do you know what? You mean you joke about that? But do you know, I reckon most comedians, well, all comedians, they always would go about hack comedy and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then they'll do that in one breath. And then the next breath, they go, "All right, here he comes, prop juggler. Prop act."
So
do you know what I mean? You're going,
uh,
to me, it's all hack because I've heard it so many times.
That's-
Do you know what
That's
I
a
mean?
fair point.
That's the same point I used about the reviewers from the South going, "Oh, they're just doing Northern comedy." It's like, that's a hack review.
Absolutely.
That's a
it
hack
is.
review.
That's
You haven't
absolutely.
even listened. You've just said that.
I'll tell you what does bother me is when I go and do gigs abroad. I mean, I've done gigs with you abroad, and you just turn up in your rucksack with your carry-on look, and I've got that big bag.
Yeah.
And then, especially when you get to the other side, you're straight in the taxi, straight to the hotel, and I'm there waiting.
Not anymore though. Since, do you remember when we went to Aberdeen and you got stopped
On the hip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You were fuming. It was like you had a gun.
Yeah.
What, because of the did it beep, 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 beep?
It goes off all the time.
Oh,
It's
wow.
annoying. It's annoying. It's really annoying.
Because you know my juggling clubs, I mean, they look like old-fashioned like German army grenades, don't they?
Yeah.
Right? Number of times, I always put them in my hand luggage just so I've got something if my big bag gets lost. Do you know what I mean? So I
Right.
can still do a few of the gags and stuff.
Do you have to put them each in a little plastic bag?
He's so for a while.
Yeah.
No, but they pull me over. No, I'm not kidding. My wife and kids will even tell you that they've been witness to this. All the comics have been witness to this, where you're at that horrible moment where you see that bag go through the thing, and it
Yeah.
just goes, and you go, oh.
If I was behind you in the airport, I mean, I get pissed off when someone hasn't took his belt off. I'm going to be like, "Oh, what? Look at this dick with his club. But each one in a different basket, mate. Come on.
I'd rather be behind a Chinese grandma and crocodile steak and tiger's teeth. It's not food. It's just pork. So you're a professional, okay?
Yeah.
We've established that. What do people get wrong about your job, either in real life or how they show your job on film or television? I'll give you an example. Like we always say, me and Danny said, it's about when you see people using microphones in any film or TV, and there's this myth that microphones can pick up sense nerves.
Like dogs can smell fear.
So you get to the microphone and he'll get feedback.
Oh,
It never happens. It can't.
it?
Oh, but if I'm confident, then it'll work. No, it doesn't. That really gets someone nerves.
That's a brilliant observation.
Thanks, that's what I do. don't need any juggling. Just go around making observations and sharing them.
Oh, dear.
So what's the one thing about you see on television?
There's two things that bug me. Only because I've had this experience the number of times. If I did a list of my TV appearances, obviously Phoenix Nights 30 seconds, BGT more than 30 seconds. Number of times I've been background fodder on a whole list of things. Can you just stand there? It's just being a filler.
You're moving wallpaper.
Yeah, that is exactly what I
You're a
had. So that bugs me.
screensaver.
Have you got any transferable skills? Is there another job you can
I've
have?
always thought of getting a double act. I've never met the right lady.
Do you have any transferable skills? What do you reckon you could do if you,
Well, I
if you weren't
suppose
this?
people say in everyday life, don't they? Oh, I've got a right juggling act this week. I've had three. Well,
I never, when I go supermarket, I never get, when they're like, do you want help with your packing?
yeah.
I don't.
No.
But if it's you, and you're like,
you see a bit
just throwing them in the
can't
back.
make it
Like, you're the only
entertaining
one who
if I
could probably keep up with the Aldi checkout people.
Yeah.
I do.
You'd be
I-
dead fast.
It's funny actually said because I do. I proper, but it's about organisation. Isn't it? Again, this is a little bit my OCD.
Yeah.
And that's I'll have the bags ready, and I am straight in tins in that.
There you go.
tin.
Yeah.
I'm
that's-
all.
Do you not scan and pack as you go around?
No one does that. It's weird.
Yeah, they do.
No, it's
I think
weird,
you find
that.
this guy does.
Yeah.
Scan and pack it. What?
So you've got your scanner. You scan your own stuff as you go around. Beep, beep,
Oh,
beep.
I've always wondered what.
Nah, Justin just wants to
see
feel
that
like he's
bit.
got a gun.
What? So you just hand over the gun at the end and go.
No, you don't scan it. Boop. It's a QR code on the thing. And
So-
then you've got your bags in your trolley. So you go, right, fridge stuff in the fridge bag.
So it's a white elephant, that.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm not. No, I don't know if I trust that.
Danny's like, oh no, you're taking a job away from a skilled work. That's
That's
No.
a very good point.
Yeah, you're taking the job away from a better robot at the self-checkout.
Yeah.
I tell you a great transferable skill, something that you could do and I could see you doing. Teppanyaki chef.
Oh.
The other day,
Yeah.
I went for teppanyaki. My daughter's 18th birthday. We went for teppanyaki, and 20 people. Only one who caught the potato in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I catch that, but it's not because I'm good at juggling. It's because I'm a fat bastard. I've got the jaw of a snake when it comes to that. I just get it.
Do you know how many times you go to Teppanyaki? Do you know how many times you go in your life? Twice. The first time you go, that's sauce. That's in the thing. Then you take somebody else and watch them enjoy it, and then you never go again.
No, I go all the time.
It's like I've always said about bifolding doors.
Bifocal doors. I want to see bifocal doors.
I'm just telling someone
I want to see the end of the garden, and I want to see the patio.
Oh dear! Bifolding doors, when people have them fitted, the only time they ever open them is to show people that they've got bifolding doors.
Yeah, true. It's like I say, just because you can take your dog in pets at home doesn't mean you have to.
Absolutely.
I go to my local teppanyaki restaurant all the time.
Do you?
Because the food's really good. But I say, I don't need. I
No act.
I go in and go, I don't need the show.
You basically.
Oh, that's like
You say these like that. They're with me on the TV show. Don't juggle.
Yeah.
Don't do the act, mate.
I once got another
Concentrate
one
on the food.
that made me think about it. Then is I once did get offered a job very early on in my career when I first started to juggle. I worked at Granada Studios tour, and TFI Fridays opened opposite, and a guy
TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays.
Was it TV? What was it?
Yeah, TGI Friday was a television program.
Yeah, TFI Friday. It was TGI.
Just in the background.
What did I say? Did I say TFI?
TFI, yeah.
That American
Chris
thing.
Evans making the burgers.
Anyway, he offered me a job as a cocktail waiting. Because often they do it with just one, don't they? I mean, that is quite simple.
I hate that as, again, performative.
What do they call them? Mixologist.
It's flaring him.
Flarers, yeah.
Mixologist just makes cocktails. But
I call them pricks, but then that's a different.
This is your chance now because you've been very kind coming in and you kind of shows how to be better or to be jugglers.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity now. Have you got a message for the haters?
That was one particular one. She knows who she is. When I did that corporate back in 2019, right? And you just stared at me and then attacked me in the middle of my act saying, you're boring, we don't need this in our conference. Right? You know the lady you mean. You turned your back on me. You turned your chair. You physically did that to me and turned your back on me. Well, look at me now. I'm Britain's third most talented person, brackets 2020. And where are you? You're still stuck in that boring job with your boring colleagues who all backed you up on that night. And I'm here. In a box room in Chester.
That's told her.
Yeah.
I've got a question for Steve, just because while we're here talking about haters. Have you ever turned up to a gig and thought, I'm not bothering, I'm just going to do some other stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
And they've gone, no, we want the juggles.
I tell you, you know who would only ever book me if I did no juggling? Jonglers. I used to hate jonglers.
Yeah,
anyway.
but that's
the whole point.
that's literally what it means.
I know it also almost says jugglers in the title.
That's what
Honest to God, they used to specify this. We'll book Steve, but we don't want any of the juggling. I'm going, but it's. I don't just juggle.
I genuinely think, because obviously jonglers means jugglers in French, right?
Yeah.
So I think they didn't want people going
Thinking
and going,
and
it's actually juggling.
It would never, would it?
No, but maybe that's. I'm just trying to. I don't know why I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
What does life look away from from juggling? What's home life like for you, Steve?
Oh, that's the proper juggling act, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
like
That's with the three teenage daughters.
Yeah.
You can only imagine.
I was listening to one of your podcasts the other day, and you were talking about the fact that you spend most of your time going around your house trying to like where's Wally? He does that reverse game of like whose knickers are these?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I was just going to mention that. Yeah, I do. I could, because they assume I should know what knicker. Well, the heck am I? And they're all just they're that, aren't they? Teenagers.
Smell it.
No, I mean just. It's in my head.
You were like, well.
All right, so you're going to show us how to juggle.
Yeah.
But just as a takeaway, we want your top 5 tips how we can improve at juggling.
Right. First of all, against the wall.
Okay.
Right. Because if you throw one too far away, it'll come back to you.
Right.
I'm not saying it'll bounce back straight into your hand. Second, and this is the biggest tip I give to anyone, is it's all in the throwing, not in the catching.
Remember that.
Focus on that. People think if you think about it, you'll always catch. If I threw your ball now, you'll be able to catch it. If I told you to throw it and past a certain point, you won't always get hit. It's like throwing something in a bin.
It's not all in the throwing.
I'm really good at throwing stuff in bins. That might be my only other skill. I'm really good at throwing stuff in bins.
Well, you'd be good at it then.
We'll see.
Yeah, but if you got a disco,
Your life.
keep doing it.
Your life, your opportunities.
That was one of the first round of applause I ever got when I went back at university, and I left a lecture theatre once, and I just made some notes and they were rubbish and scrubbed the board, and I did the classic straight in the bin, and I heard a round of applause and I just kept walking.
Oh,
it was probably one of the coolest moments of my life. I went up to
I heard about that.
That was 2.
3. Always do it in front of a bed or a sofa.
Tip 4.
Tip 4. Markers. Get a bit of blue tack. Bit of blue tack's ideal to have with you for the wall. Fifth. Fifth one. Just have fun. Enjoy it. Juggling's for everyone.
Wise words, Danny.
Wise words indeed.
If you're watching this, remember, just enjoy it. Have fun. Juggling.
It's for everyone.
It's for everyone. So, Steve Royle, good guy, top guy, funny guy.
Great guy.
Great guy. Big shout out to Steve Royle's family as well, celebrating this week. His daughter getting a place, going off to drama school or dance school or musical theatre school, whatever she does. All singing, all dancing. That's what their family like. Like the Von Trapps, the Royals of Chorley.
The Osmonds.
Yes. Russell Osmond used to play for Ipswich.
Leon Osmond used to play for Everton.
That's the difference between father and son's recollections of football. So we learned a lot about juggling from Steve. We learned a little bit about his life and everything else. A couple of things in there that we didn't know about him. I thought was interesting. And then directly after recording our podcast, we went next door into the...
We tried to go next door but one.
Yeah.
Echoey.
was echoey.
Couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Well, like
When
a
my
gym.
balls hit the floor, boom, boom, with my juggling ball.
Hey.
Boom, boom, boom.
My balls hit the floor these days. I'm that old.
Oh, that might be my least favourite old man trope
Yeah,
in
people do.
comedy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, so we got our nice tight balls, and we went next door and tried. What do I do with a laugh like? That's what a friend Claire they call her Nana, because when she talks, she laughs when she talks like a Nana. That's what they call her Nana. And she said, "That's all right, lovey. How you getting the bus?" So we went and had a little bit of a juggle. Now, I thought that I was going to be ace at it. Because when I was about 20, I'd tried a bit of juggling.
Right.
And I'd bought some thuds.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah. And I'd had a go at it. And you went in there blind. So we had a go.
I could do it blindfolded.
Yeah. So he was very good with us. So he starts off by you just throw one up in the air. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
That was my issue. I had a good arc, apparently.
You had a good scoop.
A good
Oh,
scoop.
yeah, I had a good scoop.
Yeah. So we learned about arcs and scoops. I tell you what was amazing is the balls he gave us, one of them split.
Yeah, the ones he's trying to sell at
The ones
gigs.
he's trying to sell at gigs split. The ones he gave us that going in and out on bowler.
With tape on it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, his other one had
His real
tape
ones,
on.
his own, his professional ones.
They had tape
Yeah.
on, yeah.
Do you remember hacky sacks?
Yeah, I remember it was one of the levels on a game called California Games on the NES or something. The skateboarding, biking,
Hacky sack.
hacky sack.
Like doing little keepy-ups with a tiny little juggling ball. That's
They
what it was,
just
wasn't
won't play football, will they?
No.
They'll do anything they can except football.
it? So yeah, we did it. And I thought we did all right. I mean, if you're a Patreon, you'll see how we got on. We had a bit of a row, didn't we?
I can't, but
Yeah, because you got because you're so laid back, Danny, on the surface. But actually, Rachel, back me up here. He got a bit arsey, didn't he, about the competitive nature of it. You've had your go.
Nah, but you kept doing that thing where he's like, oh, I wasn't ready, do it again.
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
All the conditions weren't perfect
You're
for
like,
me.
he was like, this one now, and then you're
Yeah.
like, no, not this one.
Don't forget, if you want to be a Patreon, it's dead simple. You go to patreon.com, search for Room for Improvement. The levels are 3, 5 and 10. If you've only got £3, fine. Thank you for supporting us. We'd like it if you spent a £5. And you know what? If you're a big dog, swinging your juggling balls round, then get on us with a tenner and you'll get loads of stuff and help us put these podcasts out and everything else. We don't want to be that mealy mouth begging for podcasts, Patreons.
Well, I don't know whether cost of living now is.
Hang on a second. Thanks to everyone who's already done it.
Oh yeah,
We've got loads who've already done it. We haven't even put anything out. You are the good guys.
Yeah, the best guys.
You're my best guys. Who's a good boy? You are. That's what you are. You're good boys.
Yeah, I was saying I don't know whether the cost of living's made it easier to ask for Patreon money now, because it used to be £10, that's 10 Soleros, and now it's like 3 Soleros.
Yeah. Do you know what £10 is? 2 tubs of Flora buttery margarine.
Wow.
They're £5.
They've got security tags on now in my shop. That's bad, isn't it?
It's really bad, isn't it?
Fish is in a big cage with a big padlock on it now.
Fish?
Yeah.
From Marillion.
What's that?
None of you get that reference. The older guy, the £10 experts, the ones, the boomers with the disposable income, they'll get that joke.
It's in a big plastic box.
Oh, like a CD?
Is
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
fish?
Yeah.
It used to be you knew when you lived in where I grew up, I knew it was a shoplifty kind of area. Well, coffee and shampoo was next to the banks.
Do you know what the most security tagged item is? I think me growing
Razors.
up.
Razors.
Razor blades,
Batteries. Things that just people will nick and just flog in the pub. Desperate people. Desperate people. So, join us on Patreon for the full picture. As always, thank you very much, even if you're not a Patreon, for downloading, sharing, telling everybody about it, reviewing it.
Oh, we need a word for them, don't we?
No, I don't want to do that.
you know?
Imps.
Imps.
Our little
There
imps.
you go.
Yeah, don't be a gimp, be an imp.
Yeah.
We're going to call our enemies the gimp provers.
I might have it on my t-shirt. That.
Yeah, don't be an introvert, be an extrovert. Oh, that's terrible. Next week's episode will be out on Thursday for everybody, a day early, obviously, for Patreon subscribers. And what are we talking about next week, Rachel?
You're going hairdressing.
Hairdressing. You will not want to miss that one.
Have you juggled since?
I'm never juggling again. Have you juggled since?
Like, I was moving some oranges
Yeah.
from there, putting them back in.
Did you still have it?
I didn't. It didn't even try.
Here's a question, though, because this is fundamental, isn't it? It's a question that we'll ask at the end of every episode. Has learning to juggle improved us? Has it improved you, Danny? Think of one thing. I've got one. Our conversation with Steve and obviously trying to juggle and everything else and having a go has improved me in one way. I now respect him a little bit more than I did before. I used to think he was just a gimmicky act, not a real comedian. But there's a real talent and skill in juggling, isn't there?
So it's improved you in a way that you were totally unprepared for.
Exactly.
It's actually, you thought it'd be a more physical improvement, but it's actually an intangible improvement.
It's increased my empathy levels towards special acts, not real comedians, by a factor of 5%.
Yeah. And next week, join us when we learn how to change the words to songs.
Have you improved by learning to juggle?
No.
So, there you go.